Hey YouTube, I'm Lee with DualSim.us, and today I've got another unboxing review for you. This time it's ZTE Axon 7 Mini. So I got this on sale at Best Buy for $1.99, which is a pretty good price. Regular price is $2.99, which I think is slightly overpriced, but you know, compared to Blue devices, it is still kind of on par, and I think this is a better brand than Blue because they actually do make updates sometimes, whereas Blue doesn't. But let's not get into that. Let's do the unboxing. So I'm gonna cut this open and do some tests. Of course, since our channel is all about dual SIM phones, we're going to test the dual SIM function of this phone. And I've got my two T-Mobile SIM cards right there. So we're gonna test that. Okay, so pretty nice packaging. We take this first out. And here we have a SIM tray removal tool. Probably a screen protector. So here's a SIM removal tool. Ah, a case, wow. I have a case, so you don't need to buy a case. Probably no screen protector here. So we got some brochures and a case, which is nice. Okay, so you still need a screen protector, and I do recommend you get some kind of tempered glass. So we put this aside. And now let's take a look at the phone itself. Okay, so the phone has NFC in it. It is made of metal, so I take it out. It's pretty cold, which means it's metal. It's not plastic. So the back is non-removable. Obviously, the battery is not removable. You have your fingerprint scanner on the back. You have your, I think this is a 16 megapixel camera. We'll check that out in a second. You have these front-facing speakers on top and bottom, and from what I've heard so far, they're pretty good. So let's remove this plastic. And you have your 2.5D or basically rounded corner glass. Here you have your front-facing camera, your volume rocker on the top, and power button both on the right side. Nothing on the left except for the SIM tray. So let's go ahead and take out the SIM tray, and I'll show you what it is. So while I'm doing this, basically the specs on this phone, this is a 32 gigabyte storage, 3 gigs of RAM. The storage is expandable. You can put a micro SD card in this SIM tray, but there is a catch, and I'll talk about that in a second. And this has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 617 octa-core processor. I think it's 1.5 gigahertz, if that's important for you, the gigahertz. So actually, I'm not going to turn it on just yet. So let's talk about the SIM tray. So you can see it's a dual SIM combo tray. So what this means is if you put two SIM cards in it, if you put two SIM cards in it, like just like so. Oh man, I dropped one. So I'll dig it out later. But basically, if you put two SIM cards, you cannot use a micro SD card with it. It's either one SIM card, one micro SD, or two SIM cards. You cannot use all three at once. So that's a bummer. However, there is a way to actually, like, what you can do is take the plastic off your SIM card, basically make it very tiny, very thin, and then there is a hack that you can use to make both SIM cards and a micro SD card work at the same time. In this tray, I'll make a video about it, but obviously you void your warranty, and you can, and probably will mess up your SIM card the first time you do it. Maybe second time you'll get it right. Basically, if you have an old spare SIM, practice on that. But I'll make a video to show you how that works. Let me pause. I'll dig out the second SIM card and we'll continue. Alright, I have both of my SIM cards ready to go. And let's put this tray inside the phone. Let's power it on. So I won't make you watch the the initial setup stage. It's kind of boring, and I think that this initial load will take a little bit of time, so I'm just gonna quickly talk about the phone and then I'll pause again. So basically I found it very useful to have the fingerprint scanner on the back. However, there is a catch with that. If you want to have your like a credit card thing on the back attached to your case or to the phone, that may get in the way of the fingerprint scanner. But also what I like to do is to have a magnetic plate to use with my car mount. So as you can see, this phone case has a magnetic plate and I can attach it right there. So I like to do that. And you cannot have the magnetic plate and the credit card thing attached to the phone at the same time. It's probably not gonna work. So that's a bummer, unfortunately. That's a limitation basically of this fingerprint scanner on the back. Now, if it was on the front, like an iPhone and Samsung phones do right now, then you could probably fit a smaller magnetic plate and the wallet thing on the back of the phone. So that's a limitation. Now the phone itself sits really nice. It's not slippery at all. Maybe it's just now not slippery, because sometimes one day I feel the phone is completely non-slippery, and then the next day something with my hand, I just woke up or something like that, and the phones just fall out of my hands. It's really weird, but basically really nice, a nice design on it. You have USB Type-C, so USB 3 Type-C connector, which is nice. Maybe it's not USB 3, but it's a Type-C connector. So you can't use your micro USB cable here, but I really like the Type-C connector. It's universal. You can put it upside down, it will still fit, and I think it actually works a lot better, because now most of you who actually have used micro USB connectors, the ports on your phone go bad and the charger just falls out, or the cables just go bad really fast, and Type-C actually is a lot better. However, there is a lot of Chinese knockoffs that don't follow the Type-C specs, and basically they can burn your device. So be very careful when you buy Type-C cables and Type-C chargers, and basically you should probably go with the one supplied by your phone manufacturer. Alright, I'm gonna pause here. It's taken forever to load. Well, now it's loaded. So we have two SIM cards. The phone hasn't figured them out yet. Says no service. So let me pause. I'll go through initial setup and come right back. Alright, so as I was doing the setup, you come through this fingerprint setup, and you can see both of my SIM cards have been detected. For some reason it says 4G. I'm not sure if that means LTE or 3G. This is definitely LTE coverage, but you can see it detected two T-Mobile SIM cards right there. So let me show you the fingerprint setup. So let's go next. Unlock with fingerprint next. Blah, blah, blah. It's really convenient to use the fingerprint. So you can add a lot of fingers. So you can add one finger on the left hand. I'm gonna not do it right now, but you can add a couple of fingers. You can even add your significant other, wife, children. I don't recommend doing it because you don't want people to have access to your phone. And so we're not gonna help Google, not gonna improve Android experience. Next. Now you can change all those later. And there you go. So Android 6.01, I think, or something like that. Basically it's a barely skinned Android. So ZTE did some skinning, but you know, not as heavy as some other manufacturers have done. So you obviously have all your Google apps here. Let me see the camera app. This is a very important. Okay, start. Now, for some reason it's really dark. Come on, got it. All right. So here you can see the camera, and we'll check the resolution. So go on the settings. Yeah, 16 megapixel. There is no optical image stabilization. There is only digital image stabilization. But let me take a quick picture. So there is a sun over there. And let me show you the picture. I just quickly shot it. So not the clearest picture you can get, but pretty okay. So you have your screen brightness here. I don't like automatic. I always put it on the maximum. So here are your quick toggles. I'm not sure if you can change them or not. I'll figure that out later, but you can quickly swap the data between two different SIM cards, so that's very convenient. Have your hotspot, again, very convenient, flashlight. I'm sure there are other ways to turn on flashlight with like a lock screen. I haven't figured it out yet, but there is no knock-on feature, or at least it's not enabled. So this phone has a 2700 milliamp battery, which is pretty good for its screen size. It's 5.2 inches full HD screen. Let me show you how the finger unlock works. So basically you press that and your phone is unlocked again. And again, I'll show you without the fingerprint unlock. You have to do a PIN code or something like that. So very convenient. And you see I've switched my data from SIM 1 to SIM 2, and again you can easily do that just like so. Very, very convenient. You don't have to go to settings. So why dual SIM? Basically, if you travel, you can always get like a cheap temporary SIM card somewhere. And that's if you travel abroad. Now with T-Mobile, you can actually use the data and free text messages in almost every country in the world, except for like, you know, somewhere you probably don't want to go anyway. And you can make phone calls for 20 cents a minute, which is pretty good. Now that's only with T-Mobile, but you basically don't really need to get a foreign SIM card in another country for the most part. But if you live in the US and you do travel, like say you're a trucker or something like that, and you travel a lot, and you can have, say, where you live, there is a great T-Mobile reception, but when you travel, obviously T-Mobile is not great for travelers because they don't have very good coverage in a rural area. But for example, AT&T has a much better coverage. So what you can do is get like a Cricket prepaid card, just when you travel for data, and then T-Mobile for your main stuff or something like that. And this way you can basically pay less and have both SIM cards available. Or if you use this phone for business, you can use one SIM card for your personal stuff and one for work. So dual SIM is actually very convenient, and that's why we're reviewing these phones. So I can't really try the speakers because I don't have any great music here, but let's try YouTube. We'll update it later. See what's good on YouTube. So this is probably a music video.
If I feel that I could be certain, then I would say the things I want to say to. Hold it right there!
Go, go, go! Oh, you were supposed
Okay, so it's pretty loud. Let me see if I can do better quality.
Sorry, Dad. My theater's been going through some pretty rough times lately.
Okay, 1080p, very smooth, very seamless.
My next show is gonna be, drum roll please, a sing.
And the sound is very loud and very clear, no vibrations, nothing like that. Again, phone is not big. I mean, it's a mini phone with a 5.2-inch screen, which is, you know, an oxymoron. But it's not big. It's much smaller than my Blue Pure XL. It weighs a lot less, and it's much thinner. Okay, so this is an unboxing review, so I'm not gonna do a full review right now. So let me show you what else is in the box. Alright, so we have a quick charger. This phone supports quick charging. I believe this is a quick charger. Let me see. 5 volts, 1.5 amps, or 9 volts. So yeah, this is a quick charger. Let me try to focus on it. So hopefully you can see it. You have your your USB Type-C cable here. Very neat cable. I like it. It's not, you know, not the cheap one that they got at some market of in China or Shanghai, or well, Shanghai is China. Basically not something you get on a market for 25 cents. And you have these headphones that look like Apple's later design headphones. Probably decent quality. I'm gonna check them out in my full review. I wish these were wireless, but obviously, so this doesn't follow a modern trend of not having a 3.5 headphone jack. This one does have it, as you can see. And these are okay headphones. I don't know the quality, but probably they're pretty good. Okay, so there you go, guys. Axon 7 Mini by ZTE. A pretty decent phone for a good price. $200 for this phone is not bad. Now retail $300, maybe a little overpriced, but if you go to Amazon, it often falls down to $249 if you don't get the deal. Basically the deal ends this week. Maybe they'll come around again, but probably you will not find them that often. However, like I said, Amazon does lower their price to $249 pretty often. If you look at their sales price graph, you need a plugin for Chrome for that, but I can show that in a full review. This does go down for $249 and stay at that level for a long time. So I'll make a full review very soon. As you can see, the dual SIM function works. Very convenient. Very bright screen. I like it. Very crisp. I'm not really a fan of 2K screens. We can discuss that all we want. I'm gonna come to a resolution, because there are some people who say you absolutely need a 2K screen on a 5-inch display because you just can't see those pixels. Okay, whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like this one if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel and come back for a full review. See ya.